Hey guys, this is Barbie Collab. I'm going to get started as soon as I see 2 or 3 humans. Because sometimes I think we feel like we're talking to ourselves, right? So, I am so excited. I can't believe the end is near and it's only the beginning. Okay, I see 2 people are on. That's enough for me. Just a little hello, a few hearts, and we can rock and roll. So as I wait for some, hey Mandy, okay, awesome. Mandy's here, we can begin. I have to tell you that when I first started Beachbody, I don't even think I believed in God when I first started with Beachbody, and now, I mean, so much has changed. And so before I started this call, I prayed and I asked God to help me say the right words and not have a barking dog, to say the right words so that I would speak to someone and to many of you on this call. So I might have to grab this little dog. We have someone coming to fix the washer and dryer, so I knew this was going to happen, and that's why I'm in my husband's office. All right, guys, let's get started. So here we are on day 24. I cannot believe that it's already been 24 days. Some of you have gotten exactly what you needed to get out of this training. So maybe some of you have heard just one of the coaches, the SuperStar coaches who has presented, say one sentence or maybe one phrase, or maybe it was one video or 2 videos that made that little switch go off for you. And from here on out, you know that life is going to be different, that your journey is going to be different. In my almost 9 years as a coach, next to Julie Schulte, I am the most veteran coach in here, I believe. And after that, it's, I think, Julie Boris. I've had several of these moments where I've had, really, it was just one thing that I heard another coach say that prepared me for the next level of my journey. So if that's you, if you've experienced that kind of breakthrough in this 24-day training, congratulations, because these tools, these tips on inviting, on how to follow up, on running a challenge group, they're going to make your journey that much more, I don't know if I should say easier, but much more, easier and much more enjoyable. So everything that I'm going to say from here on out today is hopefully just going to fuel your fire even more, that fire that is already burning. If you haven't experienced that breakthrough yet, I'm going to ask you to be honest with yourself. And I'm telling you, I'm looking right at you, that this is your opportunity. Take it. So if not now, when? I want those words. Yesterday, Julie asked, why not me? Why not you? And I'm asking you today, if not now, when? So I wanted to share just a little bit of my story, because many of you, and like some of the SuperStar coaches in here, I didn't quite get it in the beginning, right? For those of you who don't know me, as I said, I've been a coach. It's going to be 9 years coming up in September. I signed up as a coach, not because of the discount. I didn't even care about the discount. I didn't want to make any money. I seriously was against making money. But I just signed on as a coach because I felt like I had discovered this secret that I had to tell and share with the rest of the world. I had been dieting for 18 years, nonstop. I mean, you name it, I tried it. I tried pills, I tried laxatives, I tried not eating, I tried puking, I tried, the Scarsdale diet. You gave me a diet, I tried some wraps, The only thing I didn't try was that, hey Rita, the only thing that I didn't try was, and I was close to it, and that's when I discovered Beachbody, was that drug Ally that makes you poop in your pants, okay? So when I discovered Beachbody, I was like, oh my God, this is so easy, right? Like, I don't have to spend hours at the gym. I don't have to try these crazy things. And so that's why I became a coach. And even though I had a PhD when I started as a coach, I was still suffering from a poverty mindset. I didn't think that it was possible for me to make money, and I didn't think that it was a good thing. So remember yesterday on Julie's call, she was saying how when she found out about the top 10 trip to France, she was like, wow, wouldn't it be cool, for all those people that get to go? And then it didn't occur to her that she could be the one to go. Well, for me, I felt that way about becoming an Emerald coach. Like, I literally remember thinking that being an Emerald coach was like so amazing. It was like being a four superstar diamond coach, like it was just like, whoa. And I remember the first time that I saw on the message boards that it was a lady, I think her name was Fit Army Wife. It was the message boards. This was before Facebook even existed or before Facebook was popular, that she had advanced to Emerald. And I remember thinking like, oh my God, this really happens. Like, people can be Emerald coaches. I'm not kidding. Like, I'm totally serious. Hi, Shay. But it couldn't happen for me. It could happen for someone else, but it couldn't happen for me. And the thing is, like, I didn't have anyone telling me like, Barbie, you could be an Emerald coach. I believe in you. You could do this. My point in telling you this part of the story is that I have been a non-believer. There are 751 people in this group, and 85 of them so far. We have a list of people who made Success Club, right? So that's about 15%. What about the 85% who didn't make Success Club? The 80 or so percent who don't believe in themselves. I have been a non-believer. I didn't even think Emerald was possible. And look at me now. Look, Mom, you can change it. So my question for you is, when is it going to be your time? When is it going to be your time? And this, you can decide right now that this is it. Screw it. This is my time now. So my time came, since I was a non-believer, I didn't even think that I could be an Emerald coach. My time came when about 8 months later, about 9 months into the business, and I was on a Skype call with Mark Briggs. He was a founding coach. He's in 22-Minute Hardcore, P90X Plus. And at the times, we were friends on the message boards. He was running a popular message thread, and so was I. And so we became friends. Oh, my little dog. Mimi, let me grab her. Hold on a second. Come here, come here, come here. Coming. This is that loud little creature. We have guests here, that's why. Okay, so I was on a Skype call with Mark Briggs. I so clearly remember exactly where I was sitting, how I was sitting, probably what I was wearing. And he said, just a really soft-spoken guy, and he said, Barbie, I'm just a regular guy. If I can do it, you can do it. And at the time, he was still working as a police officer. Ironically, where I was sitting was exactly where the shooting happened yesterday. I live in Dallas, Texas, and I lived on the street where the shooting was. So it's just kind of crazy that that's exactly where I was. And he said, if I can do it, you can do it. And that's it. That was the one sentence that I needed to hear in order for everything to shift for me. You know, when the sky, like you see in the cartoons, when the skies open, the birds sing, that was it. That was what I needed. I didn't have a mentor to guide me, even though he acted as a mentor with those words. Like, I didn't even ask him how he did it. I just had that one person plant a seed of belief in me. And in this group, you guys, you have 24 people in this group that believe in you. So what are you waiting for? You have to run after your dreams. I heard TD Jake say this today. You have to run for what's in front of you so that you can escape from what's behind you. I freaking love that. It gave me goosebumps. You have to run for what's in front of you so that you can escape from what's behind you. Guys, I didn't have the tools. You know when they say like, oh, I kind of feel like, you know, those our grandparents when they're like, I had no shoes and I had to go to school barefoot. No, for real, I had to go to school barefoot. I didn't have any tools. Like, the tools didn't exist. Like, if I wanted to find out how to recruit, I couldn't go on YouTube to find out because there weren't that many people before me. Like I remember, there were maybe about 5 or 6 people who were making, 100, 200. That was like the maximum, right? When I first started as a coach. And so there wasn't anyone to ask. Like I had to create the tools, and I didn't know how I was going to do it, but I knew that I was going to do it. And I didn't know how, and it didn't matter how, because that's why I've been saying everything that we've gotten in this group, right? With the exception of the calls on vision and digging for your why and really understanding that, everything else is just a tool, but I'm going to get to that. You need to believe that this is your time, that you're going to do it, you're going to make the decision, and that no one is going to stop you. There was nothing that was going to stop me. I had my mom telling me that I was wasting my life. I had my friends trying to do an intervention with me because they thought that I was going to wind up on Dateline NBC or whatever it's called because I was involved in a Ponzi scheme, a pyramid scheme, but I didn't care. So when we tell you that we would have died for this training, no, really, we would have died for this training. We didn't have the uplines, we didn't have the tools. There were, like I said, we had to create all the tools. So right now, you have all these tools. I want you to look at all the information that you've gotten as tools in a toolbox, okay? And I know, because I asked you how you were feeling, I know that some of you are feeling like, okay, I've got all these tools. Where do I start? What do I do? It's just like Julie Voris said in her video, start with the fundamentals. If you didn't listen to her video, or even if you did listen to it and you're wondering, okay, where do I start? You can skip the Justin Bieber part. That part drove me nuts. But the rest of the call was freaking amazing because it is about mastering the fundamentals, okay? So, would you like to hear about something that really revolutionized my business and that paved the way for everyone in this group, all the Superstar Diamond coaches, to have the level of success that they've had? And this has nothing to do with me, guys. It's just, my point in this is that we all have to start somewhere. And what I learned was such a simple concept that you're gonna laugh, like, that's it? This is it? This is what revolutionized your business? Okay, I need a yes. I need some love. Hold on. You're so welcome. It's truly, truly my pleasure. I have so much that I want to share with you that it was challenging to package it and say, okay, what am I going to share with you? Okay. So I'm going to tell you the very, very simple concept that is almost laughable, that changed the face of my business, and I don't know what the heck we did before that. So Beachbody hired someone who had great success in network marketing before, who's no longer with our company. And this guy probably copied it from someone else, came up with the concept called the game plan. Okay, are you ready for it? Here is what revolutionized my business. Simple concept. I don't know what the heck we did before this. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Okay, number 1, talk to 2 people a day. Okay, number 2, invite 2 people a day. We call them exposures. Make 2 exposures a day. Number 3, the fortune is in the follow-up. Okay, you want me to repeat it? This is what changed my business, you guys. Talk to 2 people a day. Invite, look, I got goosebumps. I got goosebumps. Can you see my little goosebumps? Talk to 2 people a day, invite 2 people a day, the fortune's in the follow-up. Okay, that's it. That is it, you guys. That's it. That changed my business. Okay, freaking crazy. So you've been given all these tools. We weren't told, we didn't have, at the time, Shakeology had just come out. We didn't have a challenge pack. We had an online office with hardly any tools. We didn't have any coach basics. We didn't have any diamond training. We were just told, talk to 2 people a day, invite 2 people, the fortune's in the follow-up. Follow-up is king. That's all I knew, okay? So I was, at the time, I was a 2-star diamond coach. I believe I was a 2-star diamond coach, if I remember correctly. And I was invited to do a 60-day run. And I actually found the link, and I could post it if anyone is interested. It was a blog post by Carl Deichler talking about this revolutionary game plan of talking to 2 people a day. How freaking ridiculous, right? So I was invited to do a 60-day run with other top leaders, and we had to, so I wasn't considered a top leader by then. I wasn't a founder. And I always felt like, well, you know, the founders are the big deal. Like, I'm not a big deal, but I knew that I could be a big deal. And so I was invited to partner up with these people, right? And I was like, oh man, these are big dogs. And a lot of them were guys, and I was just a little bit intimidated, or very intimidated. But I was like, you know what? I'm stepping up. And that's what I want you to take out of this. Successful people step up and rise to the challenge. You were invited in this group, and some of you shrank. Some of you haven't even looked in the group, and what a freaking shame. And some of you have stepped up and said, oh my God, I've been given this amazing opportunity. Let me freaking run with this. And that's what I did with the 60-day run. So we were partnered up with someone every 2 weeks, and I kept getting, even though they were the superstars, right? I kept getting really crappy success partners. But guess what? So they didn't really want to text. We were supposed to message each other and actually get on the phone 5 minutes a day, just to say, hey, I talked to my 2 people a day, I invited my 2 people a day, and I followed up with 2 people, right? And I worked out. Well, none of my partners wanted to play with me, okay? And it was just because they were probably doing their own thing. I don't know if they thought they were too good. I don't know. But then I finally got paired up with Julie Schulte, who's in our group here, right? And she was like the best partner. Every day we got on the phone and we just talked about who our 2 people were. And she pushed me out of my comfort zone, because I'm not a people person. Like, I'm not a face-to-face. I'm not shy. I'm just kind of like to myself. And I had just moved to a new city. And so she challenged me to talk to my 2 people a day. And guys, this is what changed my business. Not only the simple concept of talk to people a day, invite 2 people a day, and the fortunes and the follow-up. It was the follow-through. Write that down. It was the follow-through. Okay? I would not go to bed until I talked and invited 2 people. I literally, and I am not a night person, so if it was 11:50, I remember 11:59 at night one time, and I was like, oh my God, I'm dying. I gotta invite people. I did whatever it took to invite my 2 people a day. And it was that, write this down, consistency. It was that consistency. It was that relentlessness. It was that persistence that made me have this level of success that I had not experienced before. And like I said, I had no idea what I had been doing or what we all had been doing before then. Like, it's obvious to us, right? Invite, you know, talk to 3 people a day. But before this game plan, I don't know what we were doing. I think that we were waiting for business to come to us. Maybe we were randomly talking to people. I don't know. But doing this every single day gave me an action plan that changed everything. And so I got to stand on stage at the leadership, saying that I was able to recruit, I don't remember, I think it was like 12 coaches in 60 days, which, guys, I know that some of the ladies in here freaking recruit 12 coaches a day. I'm not kidding, right? Like, I know I saw some of the coaches are recruiting 30, 40 coaches a month. And I've never been such a high recruiter. However, at the time, that was out of this world phenomenal, because none of us were doing that. So we now have a cute little chart that another coach, Annie Reed, I think it is her name, called the Power of Threes. And I'll post a PDF of it. I don't believe that we've mentioned it in here, but the concept is the same. It's every day, and it's just a cute little chart. I don't care what you guys use. If you use a notebook, if you use your iPhone, if you use Streak, which is amazing and I use, by the way, if you use a chalkboard, whatever your system is for keeping track, great, whatever, I don't care. The concept is the same. Every day you, and they've upped the game. Every day you add 3 new contacts. Every day you message or form family, occupation, recreation, 3 people to build the relationship. Every day you invite 3 people to coaching or the challenge group, and every day you follow up. And there's a cute little PDF and you fill it out. Okay, this is where the tough love comes in, and I get so freaking annoyed that I seriously just want to like scream. So you don't know so where do you struggle? You don't know where to find people? Have you ever heard of YouTube? Go to YouTube. You don't know how to invite? Watch these videos. Go to YouTube. You don't know how to do something? Figure it out. The tools are all there. Guys, I see Raina's on this call. Raina and Anita, they have done a gazillion videos on inviting, on recruiting. I mean, you have no excuse to not know how to invite. Like when some of you guys say, oh, I'm stuck, I've hit a wall, I don't know where to find people, freaking Google it or YouTube it. I like saying Google it, but YouTube it. Go to YouTube and say Beachbody recruiting, Beachbody finding contacts, Beachbody building relationship. I mean, seriously, I didn't have that, right? All the tools are there. Don't complicate or overcomplicate things. Everything that you've gotten in this book, in this group, they're just extra tools for you to do them so that you can do the fundamentals better. So if you don't know how to do something, the structure is the same. The power of 3s. Do you want me to repeat it again? Because I really have repeated it like 10 times. I know I can be repetitive, right? But I repeat things so much because I think, why don't just people get it? Why don't they get it? That it is adding 3 new contacts every day. And adding 3 new contacts every day, messaging people, 3 people a day to build relationship, inviting 3 people a day to challenge group or coaching, and every day following up with 3 new people. If you're planting seeds every single day, those seeds are going to grow, they're going to sprout, and people are going to be able to finally join your challenge group, right? What was I going to say? I was going to say something about every day. What does every day mean, guys? Every day means every day. What about if it's your birthday? It means every day. What about if it's a blue moon? Every day is every day. What about if your dog got sick? Every day is every day. You do it every day. And that's how you're going to build your business. It's by doing it every freaking day. Not 3 times a week, not 4 times a week. It's every day. And yes, I am a believer that you should take a day off. So every day actually means 6 days a week. And if you're in the beginning of the business, it might mean 7 days a week for you. All right, guys, are we having fun? Can I get some love here? So maybe I should take a sip of water. Deep breath, Barbie. All right, let's move on. Some love. All right, so 80% of, this is from Tony Robbins, 80% of success is due to psychology. Psychology means mindset, belief, emotions. And only 20%, I just spit, is due to strategy, okay? Strategy is the specific steps that you need to accomplish a result, all right? So we've said it over and over again. The strategy is there, right? I gave you the power of 3s, the things that you're doing every day. This whole group of amazing women the group has given you the tools. You have a toolbox full of tools. Now, 80% of it is mindset. So I'm going to take it down a notch for a little bit, just for a second. And I'm going to ask you to reflect a little bit with me about this group in particular. So just the question, what did you love about this group? And what did you learn? What did you love and what did you learn? So start typing. Give me some words. I want to see what you guys are saying. What did you love? What did you learn? And I saw Shay and Raina. You can participate in this too because actually let me talk about Raina for a second. So Jenna is it Jen Richardson? She did her happiness project video, right? That was awesome. And you know what I loved? I noticed that Raina was asking about it. So Raina, top 10, 3 times in a row, I think this year it is, SuperStar, freaking amazing. Anita Myron, SuperStar top 10, and I don't know how many times in a row, 2, 3 times, right? They're incorporating the happiness project into their lives. Like I saw Anita Myron posting about it, and I saw Raina asking about it. So that means that successful people are always learning. And if these ladies are actually, who are rock stars, are applying what people have been talking about, why wouldn't you, right? So I love what you guys are saying. I love seeing all the ways to build a business. Someone else just started their happiness project. They learned how that you can do this, that you're capable. You love the call to actions. You love the whole group. You learn that action and consistency with the fundamentals is key, that anyone can do this. You love the real tough love. Okay, so everyone's typing. Yes, and Carrie said, you love learning about groups until I get more confident. Loved Miracle Morning. I loved it too. Great, awesome. Okay, the sneak peek, yes. All right, so I'll just share with you what I loved and what I learned. So number one, I loved the live videos. I hadn't been to a live video. Like I've seen my husband do the live videos, but I've been in the background when he's doing them. And so the first call was with Lindsay. I loved sending little hearts. I loved the energy of this live group. And that's one thing that I'm doing now. Live video for Barbie Collab everywhere, all over the place, in my challenge groups, on my like page, in my groups in general. I love that, and I applied it. I loved the way certain superstar coaches showed up. And so the first thing that I noticed, first of all, it was Lindsay and Bonnie who spearheaded this whole project. And I loved the way that they made their graphics, they showed up, they led the group, and the way that Lindsay was just interacting in the group and with her people and just with the group in general. And I said to myself, this is why Lindsay Matwick is exactly where she is. And as a result of seeing that example, I'm doing a better job showing up in my groups. So because I could have compared myself, because let's talk about comparison for a second. I could have compared myself to some of the superstar coaches, and they're like, you know what? I'm not like them. Oh my God, their graphics really are so much prettier than mine. Mine are horrible. You know, I could have said, you know what? Like, oh, I'm just not like them, you know, or this one makes more money than I do. God knows, like we can find a million things to compare, right? But instead of doing that, I stepped up and I was like, wow, how can I learn from these amazing ladies and be better? And so I'm a better challenge group runner now. I'm more engaged. I love the way Lindsay was showing up with her people and engaging in the group. I want that. And I'm doing it, okay? Next is I see that the magic is in the challenge groups. And so, you know, when I started, we didn't have challenge groups. We had the message boards, but that was where my love was. And I just kind of got away from that. And so hearing all these tips on how to run a challenge group, how to do prizes, how to like do a transformation, photo album that Brigitte shared, I'm doing all those things. So my point is that if I'm the grandma of this group, right? Almost, me and Julie, 9 years almost as a coach, and I'm still learning and I'm still applying and I'm, you know, making 7 figures a year, like we all have room to grow, and we don't have to do everything. You don't have to apply everything or incorporate everything. I saw some of you guys post about how you're feeling so overwhelmed about how to incorporate everything. You don't have to incorporate everything. You have to master the fundamentals. Master the fundamentals, and you take a few tools from your toolbox, right? So your fundamentals, we've said it again and again. So for example, I'm going to add 3 new people. Oh no, I don't know how to add 3 new people. I don't know what to do. How am I going to do this? I'm going to go to YouTube and find out if I'm going to look in my toolbox, look at my notes. My toolbox is everything that we've learned in this group. If I don't have the tools in my toolbox, I'm going to go to YouTube and find it, right? The same thing with everything else. Okay. The next question that I have for you is, what are the shared characteristics of the coaches that you've watched? and go ahead and tell me, what are some of the common traits that you've observed among these amazing ladies? And they all have different personalities, right? Like Brandy Boss is super soft, Megan is kind of soft, right? And then you have the screamers like me, you know, and Lindsay is soft. You know, they're all powerful women, but you know, some people are just soft, right? Softer, like just gentler. So heart, right? Passion, what else? Persistence, heck yeah. Consistency, drive, passion, purpose, yes. Happy, confidence. So can you guys make, one of your call to actions is to actually make a list. If you're rewatching these videos, make a list of the characteristics that these coaches possess, because these are things that you need to develop in yourself, okay? Some of you, well, we'll get to that. I was going to say, some of you are just like, you know, I kind of feel like you have to be begged. And let me tell you something. I'm not begging anybody to do this business. I'm not convincing anybody to do this business, because it's not an easy business. And if you, this was all part of the game plan back in 2009. If you have to carry someone, you can carry one person, you can't carry two people. You might be able to carry two people if you're super strong. Three people you can't carry, it'll break your back. So I don't carry anybody, okay? My husband, I was talking with my husband this morning, and I was saying, you know, what can I say to this group, right? You know, it's the last call, what can I say? And he asked me, he's like, what were the characteristics of your rock star students, right? What was the difference? Because I was a professor, I taught for a long time. So what was the difference between them, the rock stars, and those who just kind of sucked, okay? And I was like, oh, that's easy. It was hunger. They were thirsty and they were eager to learn. I mean, it was that simple. My students, I didn't have to beg them to learn. My best students came to the class hungry. I didn't have to convince them to learn. They came hungry. They saw me, their teacher, and that the material that we were going to learn as a tool to help them advance their learning. But guess what? They did the work willingly and enthusiastically. They did the freaking work, and I just made things a little bit easier for them. And it is this deep hunger that I've seen in each of the coaches that have presented to us. I can assure you guys, many of us have been coaches for a long time. I can assure you that each of these coaches had challenges, big and small, from the time that they started as a coach. I mean, we are human. You know, we have had just health issues. I mean, I can tell you with me, you know, just 2 years ago, I felt horrible and I was really, really struggling, but my hunger never went away. So this is the bulk of my message. Like, if you listen to anything, it's this. If you're making excuses that you're, because I have my coaches doing that, some of them, if you're making excuses that you're too busy with work, that school is taking up your time, that your kids are too noisy, that you're just, you know, you have a very busy personal life, and that your spouse is not supportive enough, or that people are just, you know, rejecting you too much, whatever excuses you fill in the blank that you're making, or you think that they're reasons, I'm going to break it to you right now. You don't want it bad enough. If you are that person who is not making Success Club, who is not making the time to make shit happen, it's because you don't want it bad enough. If you're that person who hasn't missed you haven't missed a single video, because I have some coaches who haven't missed a video either, but they're not doing the work, then you don't want it bad enough. And what? That's okay. You don't want it bad enough. That's okay. But then don't complain about it. Okay? I can guarantee it that each and every one of the coaches that presented to you wanted it so bad. So bad. And some of you might be saying, but wait, no, I wasn't in bankruptcy, or wait, no, like I didn't have, you know, a sick child, or, you know, I wasn't, whatever that thing is. Guys, yes, I had debt, But I was like starting my professor job, but I was happy, but I had this deep hunger to be something more, to do something that I was passionate about. And I didn't need anyone to freaking push me. I didn't make excuses. Nobody at any point said, Barbie, you better get to work. Nobody. So if you're not making it happen, it's because you don't want it bad enough. Got it? Good. And if you do want it bad enough, you have to be, here comes the second part, you have to be willing to pay the price. I think the book is actually in the sauna, which is right next door. I bought this book and it asked a question, are you willing to pay the price? And I didn't freaking get it because he said there is going to be a price to pay. And at first, I didn't get it. And now I get it. I get it. What is the price that you are willing to pay? So that might mean that you are getting up an hour early, going to sleep an hour early. It might mean that you give up your date nights. It might mean, sadly enough, that you might miss some of your kids' milestones because you know that you're sacrificing now so that you can have what you want later. So you might not have the nights on the couch with your spouse and your kids because you've got to work your business. But you're sacrificing that time now so that you don't have to miss your kids' game. So you don't have to tell your kids no. So that you don't have to be freaking miserable in your job, you know? So there is a price to pay and you have to be willing to pay for it. So are you willing to pay the price? Are you willing to sacrifice? All right. So my last statement, because I've been talking for 37 minutes and I literally could go on for an hour, is if you have big dreams, you guys, if your desire is to do something that you love, if you want to retire your spouse, if you want to give up, just be able to do things with your children, whatever your dreams are, you need to do whatever you need to do to make it happen. You need to do whatever you need to do to make it happen. And that means being consistent, doing the action every single day, stop making excuses, and having big goals. Like, you can't just settle for the minimum. You can't just say, okay, Success Club 5, this is going to get me to wherever I want to be. No, that's a minimum. If you have big dreams, you need to sponsor people, invite them into the business, add to your team, add value into people's lives so that you can help them get what they want and you're gonna get what you want. That's all I have for you guys. Thank you so much for first of all, for allowing me to come to you and for being a part of this amazing group. I've learned so much. I hope that I gave you value today. And I'm so looking forward to tomorrow's call with Josh. Thanks, guys. Have an awesome rest of your day. Bye.